Good evening. Territory workers left unemployed or out of pocket following the ban on live cattle exports to Indonesia will finally get help under an assistance package from the federal government. But for an industry worth hundreds of millions, the compensation deal is worth just $3 million.
Finally, some hope today for an industry on its knees. Compensation for cattle workers left out of pocket and unsure about their industry's future. The Commonwealth offering $3 million in assistance for those affected by the ban on live exports to Indonesia in the form of welfare payments.
I understand that people across the north are doing it tough, and that's why I brought forward this package to assist those people who have lost their employment as a consequence of the decision to suspend.
Assistance for up to 13 weeks is available for people whose incomes are affected, with payments backdated to when the suspension was announced. While the industry says compensation is welcome, what they really want is trade to resume.
This is not about banning live export, this should be about banning cruelty. And the Australian Prime Minister needs to go to Indonesia, sit down with her counterpart and work this out.
The Territory opposition also wants the federal government to visit Indonesia.
It's insult to injury, it's a drop in the bucket. The real issue is we have to get the trade moving again. That's why Kevin Rudd needs to be in Jakarta now so that we can open the way for cattle to go into Indonesia.
The Territory government is confident its federal counterparts are pushing to have trade resumed.
I'm absolutely assured through the Trade Minister, the Foreign Minister and the Agricultural Minister that everybody is working together with the Indonesian authorities to get this trade up and running again as soon as possible.
As to when the suspension could be lifted, the federal government is still refusing to speculate.
We do need both the supply chain up and running. We do need the support of the Indonesian government to reopen the trade. All of that does take a little bit of time. It's not going to be overnight for this trade to reopen.
With thousands of livestock stranded across the Territory from the bans and 60,000 tonnes of beef at risk, for the cattle industry, getting its trade resumed can't come soon enough. Amy Davis, 9 News.